Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so today is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. And today we're going to make a card using actually I'm going to be using tons of different dies, pieces from different dies. I'm going to be using Jar of Joy. So really you only need the jar. So if you have the other stamp set, can't think of the name of it. This is the one that's in this is obviously the holiday one, but there was another one and it had the jar with a lid. So we're not going to use the lid. We're just going to use the jar today. So if you have that, just use that one. I'm also going to be using sentimental framing for my sentiment, this stamp set. Yeah, it is. I waited to get it because I got the sentimental framing dies and I thought, do I really need it? And yes, I did, because I saw this Thinking of You. That's gorgeous. And all the other ones are nice too. So there's 13 stamps in there and it's photopolymer. So I love it. Okay, so on Friday I did that, I don't know what you call it, like a little flip card. I'm just going to call it a flip card. It was this one. So if you haven't seen that on Friday, how to make this, I do show it in detail with the measurements, so you could make this. But I also want to show you the other two cards that I've made with this same, okay, so it opens like this. And the other two cards that I made with the same design. Okay, so I made I guess it's a Christmas card. It's kind of fall looking. Okay, so I would say it's like a Christmas card because it says sending you a jar full of cheer. And it's got the little gingerbread man. So this one's made also with that Jar of Joy stamp set. So yeah, these are so addicting if you make one. Okay, and then this one, I decided to switch it up and make it open this way instead of this way. So this one is a Christmas, obviously. And I just cut this out of DSP. So all I did was use DSP on this. And it opens this way. And I kind of like that, actually. Something different, something totally different. So, I don't know. I like it. So, hopefully you like these. They're really fun to make. They only take half a sheet of cardstock, so super easy. Less chatting, more stamping. Let's make our card today. Okay, so put the camera down and let's get started. Okay, I am going to be using a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of thick white cardstock. So, I'm going to fold this in half. Okay, so it's going to open portrait style like this. Okay, and that wasn't the best fold, Trevis. Okay, try that again. There, that's a little better. Okay, and so on this piece, I'm going to do all my stamping. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you the dies that I used. Okay, so I felt the need to cut out some poinsettias. And they're a little big, but I think they're going to work. So what I did was I cut out 3 of these. I cut out 5 of these. I cut 3 out of Cherry Cobbler and 2 out of Pretty in Pink. Because, you know, you see pink poinsettias, and I really like the pink poinsettias. So those came from Label Me Grateful dies. Okay. So these dies right here, and this is the one I would call as a poinsettia. Okay. So this is a diverse set, right? It has these fall leaves, it has the acorns leaves, it has this, which is delightful. Kind of looks like a TV set to me. I don't know why. And then these are leaves that they would work on a lot of cards, little tiny leaves. So yeah, this has, how many dies? It has, why do they make that so light so you can't see it? 9 dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 dies. Okay. So remember, these aren't going to come in these cases anymore. Bummer, but they're going to come in those sleeves. So they're going to be longer, 9 inches by like 5 3/4, 5 3/8. I don't know exactly this length, but so they're going to come in those sleeves, and I think that'll be okay. I think that'll be okay. I can work with that. So there's that, and then I cut out this one. Okay, so that to me, I'm going to cut that apart. And that came from Beautiful Motifs dies. Beautiful Motifs dies came from this die set. This one right here. Okay, so these are still current, right? Love these. Gorgeous. Okay, so I have that, and I cut that out of Mossy Meadow. And then I cut out these two little guys, and these are out of Basic Beige. And these are from Changing Leaves. Now, I know Changing Leaves is no longer available, but a lot of people have it. So it's this one right here. Okay, so if you have it, I love that little die especially. Well, they're all nice. These leaves are especially nice. So, okay, all right. And then we are going to stamp the jar. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that twice. And I need a block. Oh, that's not the right size block. Do I even have the right size block? Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in Cajun Craze. And you're thinking, Cajun Craze, that doesn't really go with this, but I think it'll be good. Okay, so I have some little white. Let's see if this works. Might not be big enough. I might need 2 pieces. I have that one. Yep, I'm going to need another piece. And this one. Okay, done with that. Oh, I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to use that for a little inking. Okay, so I am going to do a little sponging now, and I am going to use my the Rust blending brush, okay, and I'm just going to blend a little of this rust around the edges. I don't want too much, okay, so I'm just going to blend like that, very softly. I don't want too much. That looks good. Okay, I'm going to use that again, but for now I'm going to close this pad. All right, so now I'm going to use my punch. So this is the Sweet Jar Builder Punch. I'm going to punch this out. You're going to get the lid too, which I don't really want the lid. I just want the jar. And another one. Hate throwing those lids away, but that's okay. I think it's fine. Okay, now I have those done. And I'm kind of wondering, do I need to just start building? I think I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this back in, and this is 4 by 5 1/4 because it's going to layer on top of here. Okay, and I'm going to decide where I want my jars to go. So the first jar I'm going to put kind of like right there, and then the second jar. I'm going to move it up a little because I'm going to put a sentiment at the bottom. But before I put the sentiment, I do want to do some kind of something for these jars to sit on. Does that make sense? So I'm going to use Sunrise Sailing, and I'm going to use the water. Okay, and I'm going to use the water kind of like a, I don't know, a feature to kind of like a table or something to sit it on, right? So I'm going to stamp this in Cajun Craze. Let me think about that. Do I want that in Cajun Craze? I might use Basic Beige. I think I'm going to use Basic Beige. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this in Basic Beige. Basic Beige is a little green. It has a little greenish tint, but I like it. It's, I definitely wouldn't call it beige in my estimation. It's kind of like a, I mean, I guess if you, it could be considered a beige. Did I stamp that upside down? I don't think it really matters, but you know what? I don't really like it. I'm going to flip it. How did I do it? Did the line at the bottom, I do the line at the top. I like that better. I don't really know if there's a right or wrong way, but I felt like it. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Basic Beige. I do have one specifically for this color, and I'm just going to take it and just do a little blending very lightly. Maybe I'll go a little lower too. Pull up some of that, you know, do away with a little bit of that white end at the bottom. You can see I haven't made this card before. This is the first time. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, so now I am going to close this. And now I'm going to go ahead and mount these, I think. And so you can see now that just by putting that on there, they have a little of a grounding, kind of a grounding. Okay, so now I need my adhesive. And I'm not going to pop these up. I'm just going to do them flat because I want to put the flowers and poinsettias inside. So I'm going to do about like that. Okay, so this is big, right? Too big. So now I'm going to cut these off and just make them stick up out of the jar. And, you know, they're all connected up here, so you have to kind of cut these apart. Okay, so take this one. And I love it when they have these big pieces like this that look good when you cut them apart because, ooh, they're so usable, right? All of these leaves, you get it from just one cut. This one I might leave just like that. These, I don't know if I'll use all of these, but if I don't, I'll save them for another card. I like this long stem, actually. So I'm going to cut this and make it look more finished. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I have all these pieces. And, you know, these poinsettias are kind of big, but I'm going to kind of stagger them around, and I think they'll work. All right, it was the only poinsettias I could find that were current, halfway current. Cut a little bit of this off. Okay, so now I get to build these. And that will take some gluing. So I'm going to use my spatula and my liquid glue. And I'm just going to start adding a little bit of glue to these. And remember, the spatula is not Stampin' Up. But the glue is. Okay, so I'm going to have that in the water. Well, it's not water, but this one. Eek. Kind of don't like getting glue on the front, which I did on that one. Yeah, it's okay. We'll make it work. We might even cover that up with a poinsettia. Okay, this one. So cute. All right, so I have one over here. And this one. Look how many I got out of one die cut. Love that. This one. Now, do I need, I'm like, ooh, I might need another one. Hang on a second. I don't know if I need this big cluster, but I think I do need one more. So I'm going to cut this down and use it. Oops. I like the stem, actually. All right. So remember, this is silicone, just like your silicone mat. So if you get any of these little spatulas, they clean up really quick and easy. Hang on a second, I need a little more glue. And once they dry, you gotta wait till they dry. Once the glue dries, it just like rolls right off. Just like your silicone craft sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of twist this one. There we go. Okay, looking good. All right, I'm just gonna put this down here and hold this for a second. Then I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna put some more glue here because I'm gonna do some more gluing here in a second. Okay, so I have these. Oh, these are so pretty. I love these poinsettias. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some poinsettias. I don't think I'm gonna need all 5, but you know, I was cutting and I was like, yeah, let's just cut a whole bunch, just in case. And another cherry cobbler one. It's amazing how fast this glue goes when you're when you're using your spatula, because you're not really using that much glue, but it seems like it goes fast. Okay, we have this one come down like that. And I think I'm going to try to use one more pink one. So two cherry cobbler and 2 pretty in pink. Well, I'll tuck it underneath like that. I didn't really want those side by side like that, but I think it's too late to switch them. Let's see. Oh, I might be able to switch them. This one could go down here. Okay, I like that better. All right, I'm going to put this down and hold this for a second because I don't really want all that glue on my fingers. All right. Ooh, I like it. Okay, and then these, they need a little glue. Do I even need these? Hang on a second. Yes, I think I do, actually. I don't know. It's getting pretty top heavy, but we'll see. Actually, okay. Getting glue on my glue. Glue on my glue. About right here. I like it. And then the last one. You can see I don't like to waste glue. So if I'm not going to use it, I'm not going to put it on there. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to have it over here. I'm going to have it hang over a little bit because I do have a little room. Oh, that's so cute. I actually think the jars make it. Just the soft sponging on the jars, they just make me feel good. Okay, I think that's going to work. Now I want to do my sentiment. I got an extra poinsettia. So I want to do my sentiment, and I'm going to do, from Sentimental Framing, I'm going to do I Am So Grateful. I just love that font. I am so grateful. Okay, so take this off. Be a little careful, guys, when you peel off your photopolymer stamps. I mean, I've had one tear, one, but still was a bummer, right? I wasn't happy. So it was on there for several days. And when do I want that in that color? Or do I want it in a different color? I don't think I want it in that color. I was going to do it in Cajun Craze, but now I'm looking and I have so many other colors. I think I'm going to do it in, hold on a second, let me clean this. I think I'm going to do it in Mossy Meadow. I think it'll look better. So let me do that. Yeah, I had it on there for a couple days, so it was really on the block. And when I went to take it off, I wasn't very careful, right? I just like pulled it off, and yeah, the little end of it tore. I was so bummed. I am so grateful. Oh, I love that font. Okay, so I have a lot of product out here. And this I can clean up later. Now let's bring our card back in. I actually think I'm going to pop this up. And all I have here is a bunch of small, I'll cut these, a bunch of small dimensionals. I have all these ends. I had the best morning. I met a girlfriend at a new restaurant for breakfast. And yeah, it was delicious. We both had biscuits and gravy. Oh my gosh, it was delish. If you live in St. Louis, it's down on Hampton, and it's called the Breakfast Corner. They also have lunch there. And this was our first time going there, and oh, we both loved it. So nice inside. Really nice. Okay, I'll make sure I get this going the right way. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? That'd be a perfect Christmas thank you card. I am so grateful. So could use some, I'm trying to think. Does it need any bling? Does it need any embellishments? I don't know. I'm not going to add any right now. I might add some later, but I'm not adding it yet. Thanks for watching today. My name's Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.